Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's Tuesday, September 27th, which means it's time, actually it's late time, for another news update video thingy here on the channel. Usually I like to have the news updates done on Monday, but if you watched yesterday's episode of Pokemon Sapphire, you know, and you might tell from my voice that I'm kind of sick. I did get pretty sick over the weekend, and I wasn't really feeling up for doing a bunch of different recordings during the day on Monday for Sapphire and the news. I thought, let's hold off on the news update until tomorrow or today. But we are here now with the news update. Not really a whole lot to mention, but there's a few things I want to mention for the future of the channel. Plus, it's a pretty TCG-heavy news update for this week. So if you're interested in Pokemon TCG, stay tuned for some pretty interesting news coming up. Starting off, we will go over, first of all, I will mention, of course, speaking of TCG, as per usual, I do have a booster pack of Pokemon TCG I'll be opening up near the end of the video. This is the Roaring Skies expansion, currently standard legal. For your chance to win the code card that comes out of this booster pack when I open it up at the end, stay tuned for the question of the day and participate in that for a chance to win the code card when I do the drawing on Sunday, October 2nd. But first of all, we're going to go over last week's question of the day. I forget exactly how I worded it because I didn't have it written down, but basically, the question was, who are you planning to add to your Pokemon team, like your main team, in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon when they come out? The winner of last week's Primal Clash Booster Pack code card was the viewer named Rhino. Rhino says, I will definitely have Popplio and Pikachu on my team. The rest of my team will be random Pokemon I find in the wild that I grow attached to. That's usually the way I prefer to do it as well. Like, maybe have a couple things that you want to do. Like, for example, I always choose the water starter, so Popplio is definitely going to be my starter. And generally, I would probably just kind of see what looks interesting in the wild and add that to my team and work with that. But sometimes I sort of plan ahead who I want to get. Other times it does kind of happen at random. This time around, as I said last week, I'm focusing more on types. I want to add different kinds of types into my collection that I don't have a lot to use, because I was thinking about doing some Wi-Fi battles of type-themed weeks at one point, and I realized if I want to do a steel-theme week, I've got one steel type in my overall collection as far as main battlers go, so I couldn't really do that, but that is what I'm focusing on myself. And congratulations to Rhino for winning the Primal Clash Booster Pack. Hopefully you got some good cards in the online game out of that. And again, for your chance to win the Roaring Skies Booster Pack code card, stay tuned towards the end of the video. Not going to be too much to go over, but some pretty interesting stuff. Now, I do want to address last week's news update video thingy. As I say, usually I try to have them up on Mondays, but last Monday there wasn't really a lot to talk about. I checked out the news, there was only one real newsworthy thing, the Pokemon, I forget what it's called, the Hero Tins or something like that, or Heart Hero Power, something like that. Anyway, there wasn't much to mention, so I held off until that Tuesday, because there was another trailer coming out on Tuesday. And as I've said a couple times now, I think we're okay to show off the English trailer in our, review videos. As far as like showing the Japanese trailer, that's what tends to get claimed and is not permitted to be used. So I was like, oh, no problem. I'll just watch the English trailer. As it turns out, I did upload that video early on Tuesday. All day, I couldn't see it in my mobile phone, my YouTube app, to see if I can make it public. And I thought, oh, what's going on? As soon as I got home the end of the day, I checked it out, and I found out that that video, where I reviewed live the English trailer, had been blocked due to copyright, and it was blocked due to the Japanese channel. And I thought, what's going on here? I didn't use the Japanese trailer. When I looked into it, the section of the Z moves for Pikachu's Catastropika and Eevee's Extreme Evo Boost attack, those Z move cutscene things, that was the issue. And I can see where that might have come into play, because as far as I understand, YouTube has like an automated sequence where it's going to match videos to previous videos and see if there's any conflicting copyright issues and such. And given the fact that the Z moves are going to look the same, except for the text of course, but they're going to look pretty much the same in the Japanese trailer as the English trailer, it was an automatic content ID sync up that prohibited me from showing off that trailer. So, that being the case, in the future, I don't think I'm going to do any live trailer reactions anymore, just in case a kind of thing like this happens again. What I will do is watch the trailer myself, and I'll go to the Pokemon website and give you the information on there, because usually there's a lot more detailed information on the site anyway, and I'll just throw a link in the description of these videos to the whatever trailer is out that week. So, all that being said, that's all well and good. However, I said in yesterday's episode of Pokemon Sapphire, I have some concerns as far as doing a Pokemon Moon playthrough on YouTube. If cutscene things like the Z moves are going to be claimed for copyright, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show off the cutscenes in the games, right? Because if the cutscene matches a video on the Japanese channel that is blocked by copyright or protected by copyright, my video might be prohibited from being shown because of that cutscene. So, if all else fails, and I do upload a video and it does get blocked due to that cutscene, I will, unfortunately, simply have to cut out that cutscene, put a still image, and just have my voiceover saying, "You guys, you can't believe what we're seeing right now, this is amazing!" But you won't get to see it. You'll have to play the games for yourself, or check the Japanese videos and such, whatever. But, all that being said, I'm going to wait and cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm not letting that persuade me from doing a Pokemon Moon playthrough, because definitely I've gotten things ready to go. I'm getting things moving forward for doing a Pokemon Moon playthrough the day it comes out. So I'll just have to wait and see what happens, and hopefully there's going to be little to no issues regarding cutscenes and Z-moves and such. So that is all I want to mention for that. I do want to move on to some pretty important news in Pokemon TCG. The next expansion of Pokemon TCG for the X and Y series has been announced. It is Pokemon Evolutions. Well, not Pokemon. It's just called TCG X and Y Evolutions. But in this set, we're going to be getting 100 new cards, or over 100 new cards. It's going to be 12 Pokemon-EX, including Mewtwo and Dragonite. 5 of those are going to be Mega Evolutions, and I mentioned the starters of Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard, and Slowbro as well, Mega Slowbro EX. There's going to be 4 new Break Evolutions, including Ninetales Break and Machamp Break, and 2 theme decks are going to be coming with this called Pikachu Power and Mewtwo Mayhem. Kind of cool, 2 of the main Pokemon from Gen 1 are going to be represented. The idea of this expansion, it's taking a lot of the classic cards from the very first base set of Pokemon, way back like 18, 20 years ago, whatever it was, and re-releasing them and updating them for today's standards. We're going to take a look at a few of those cards in a moment, but it's like a lot of the base set cards that maybe you've seen videos of it, like maybe you're too young to actually have these cards when they first came out. Maybe you're actually old enough to have had them, I don't know. But anyway, they're taking a bunch of the older cards and re-releasing them and updating them. The card art is looking pretty similar to what it was back in the first expansion as well, so it's kind of cool. It's completely changing the way the cards look from what we're used to right now. Hopefully it's just for this one expansion, because I kind of like the way the cards look now, the way everything's laid out, the format of it, but I'm okay with, like, for a one expansion, kind of doing a throwback to the original layout of those cards. So it is coming out on November 2nd. However, Toys R Us in North America on October 30th, you're going to be getting those cards a little bit earlier, so that is, what, 3 days ahead of the release date? And on the following day, October 31st, which is Halloween, participating hobby stores and GameStop stores in North America will be getting their copies of these booster packs and theme decks. And following that, it's going to be a pre-release, not pre-release, it's going to be a full release at all participating stores on November 2nd, just a couple days later. But speaking of pre-release, now, the Pokemon League at Heroes Beacon that I professor at is going to be doing a pre-release event, pre-release tournament for the new expansion, new Evolutions expansion. I forgot the name already. But I'll be doing my usual thing, recording the video and talking about how a pre-release goes. See if I can get some nice footage of the battles in play and try to do a sit-down with some of the players and talk about some of the new cards that we got. It's going to be a nice, huge explosion of all these new cards and everything. I'm hoping to get some better audio recording so that I can do not as much, get some nice interviews with the players and have the background noise minimal. Plus, I want to be able to do my pack openings in store, because I do pack openings here in the lab, aka my house, but I kind of like doing stuff out and about if possible, and that's kind of why I liked Pokemon Go, going around doing stuff. If only they'll give us Gen 2 Pokemon in that, I can finally do something else on Pokemon Go. But anyway, that's another story. Hopefully I'll be able to get some nice audio for the pre-release video that comes up. I believe it is October 23rd or something? I'm not sure, but as soon as we do have the pre-release done, I'll be recording stuff, editing the video for the following, hopefully Wednesday. Try to get that as the TCG video for that week. And I think that is about it. Now, before we go any further, I do want to talk about some of the cards from the Evolutions expansion. So first of all, let's take a look at everyone's favorite, the Pokemon-EX, of course. Mewtwo-EX, your Psychic-type Pokemon here with 180 HP. And they say the attacks are the same names as attacks that Promo Mewtwo had back then, but they've been updated for more power here in the current generation of the X and Y series. So for a colorless energy absorption says attach an energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon, pretty basic. Regeneration for a Psychic, heal 60 damage from this Pokemon, and for a Psychic and 3 colorless, Psyburn does a basic 110 damage. Not too bad, there are of course more powerful attacks out there, but Mewtwo-EX being representative of a basic Mewtwo from the first base set, it's pretty cool. Next, we're going to look at the Break evolution that they've shown us, Ninetales Break. For a fire and colorless, Explosive Fireball does 10 plus. Discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 60 more damage for each energy card discarded in this way. So, that is pretty basic. Throw as much fire energy on there as you like. You're going to do 60 more damage for each discard. However, as they say, if you throw 4 burning energy onto Ninetales Break, you're going to be doing 250 damage, and all 4 burning energy will reattach to Ninetales Break after the attack is done. So that's definitely some good power in a Break evolution, and something I'm looking forward to using in an online video at some point here on the channel. The only other card they've shown thus far for the English translation is everybody's favorite Charizard. Base set Charizard is re-represented here in the new set, and it's gone up to 150 HP. It's still level 76, not bad, but they've updated the HP from, I believe it was 120 originally, 150 now. And instead of a Poke Power or Poke Body, it now has the ability of Energy Burn. All energy attached to this Pokemon are fire energy instead of their usual type. So, I wonder if that counts for double colorless. Does that count as 2 fire energy? I would say probably. Anyway, for 4 fire energy, Fire Spin does a powerful 200. Back in the base set, I think it was 100, but of course, Pokémon-EX would just kind of shrug that off at this point. But you do discard 3 energy attached to this Pokemon when you use Fire Spin from the 200. Those are the only 3 cards revealed thus far for the Evolutions expansion, but there is some more stuff to mention in Pokémon TCG. A new set of Battle Arena decks has been released, Rayquaza versus Keldeo. If you're not sure what a Battle Arena deck is, this is a set that comes with 2 60-card decks ready-made for ready-made for play. I was going to say play and tournament. I don't know what I was trying to say. Anyway, 2 60-card decks ready for play. Each deck includes 2 foil Pokémon-EX, either Rayquaza or Keldeo, 8 foil basic energy cards, and tournament-level trainer cards including N versus Seeker, and the currently unreleased in North America, Karen. I believe Karen is a card that is sort of like a counter to Night March. It was supposed to be what Lysandre's trump card was intended to be, I think, but Lysandre's trump card is of course banned because it kind of breaks the game, one of the win conditions. But Karen, from what I recall, says both players shuffle all Pokemon cards in their discard piles back into their decks. That basically does shut down Night March. Things like Bee Revenge and Flareon's was it just basic Revenge, I think? It just kind of shuts those down as well because there's no Pokemon in the discard pile, so pretty decent. And you also get 2 metallic coins, 2 sets of damage counters, a 2-player playmat and rule sheet, 1 online code card to unlock these 2 decks in the online game, 2 deck boxes, and a quick guide for this in the Battle Arena decks collection. So if you want to get some cool cards, definitely get some in here. Like they said, there's some tournament level stuff. Versus Seeker is always really good to have, so get some of those in this Battle Arena deck set. And we're going to take a look at the 2 Pokémon-EX that are in this set. They've been reprinted from previous sets, I believe. First of all, we have the Rayquaza-EX, just based on the image on Pokemon.com. It looks like this is the Rayquaza-EX that's going to be in it. The Dragon type with Celestial Roar for colorless. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon. And for a Fire and Lightning energy, Dragon Burst does 60 times. Discard all basic Fire or basic Lightning energy attached to this Pokemon. 60 damage times the number of energy you discarded. So it doesn't count for the double Dragon energy because it just specifically states basic Fire or basic Lightning. And that is some pretty good power there. Now, since this is going to be reprinted as a promo card, it is going to make, I believe, the other Rayquaza-EX with the exact same attacks, like the same text. That should make that standard legal as well. I wasn't sure about Pokemon cards in that sense initially, because I would think like trainer cards are being able to be reused if the text is the same, but I didn't know about Pokemon. But in my own testing with, I think it was last week's Pyroar Break deck, I didn't have all the Jinx I needed from the Generations expansion, and it allowed me to put in Jinx from the Furious Fist expansion, and it did not make it an expanded deck, it was still standard. So since the text was exactly the same on those Furious Fist Jinx as they were on the Generations Jinx, it allowed me to use those Furious Fist ones in the standard set. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on, we'll look at the Keldeo-EX. This here, folks, this is the Pokemon that initially got me interested in running Lysandre in every single deck. The very first deck I put any strategy into dealt with locking the opposing Pokemon in the active spot by poisoning them with Victory Bell, and Dragalge's ability, Poison Barrier, I think, preventing them from retreating. However, whenever I fought a Keldeo-EX, that Rush-In ability would always ruin my strategy. Rush-In says, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon. So because of Keldeo-EX, I could no longer lock anything else to the active spot. However, if I could Lysandre up the Keldeo-EX, I could lock that into the active spot because it doesn't have the ability if it's not on the bench. Anyway, That Russian ability is going to return for the Pokemon TCG standard format. Of course, Secret Sword for 3 colorless does 50 plus, 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. And with a lot of good ways to get water Pokemon out of your decks, like Dive Ball, you can get Professor's Letter for water energy. You can accelerate some energy using, what is it there? The Ancient Trait of Alpha Growth, Energy Switch, moving things around. You can get this Keldeo-EX powered up pretty quickly. So those are the highlights of Pokemon TCG for the week, and that is actually all the news to go over. So now it is time to prepare to open up the Roaring Skies booster pack. But first, I'll give you the question of the day. For your chance to win the code card out of that booster pack I'm about to open up, leave your response to this question in the comments down below and put the hashtag QOTD in your comments somewhere. And on Sunday, October 2nd, I'll do a run-through of the comments and find all the comments with that hashtag that have answered the question, have a chance to win that code card. Question is, I was thinking of doing a Pokemon TCG related question because there's a lot of TCG content for the news. You know, I was like, I want something more basic, more simple that anyone can answer right off the top of the head if they really can think of it. Question is, in relation to me being sick right now, what do you do to take care of yourself when you get sick? Now, for myself, as I mentioned in a couple of videos, I've got soup, like chicken soup. I've got, like, if Batman the Animated Series has taught me anything ever in my life, it's that the only way to fight the cold is chicken soup. If you know the episode I'm talking about, that was a cool episode. Poor Mr. Freeze. Anyway, I got my chicken soup, I've got some orange juice, because they say juice is good for you as well. I've got cough drops, I've got cough syrup, and I'm basically doing whatever I can to sort of keep myself from collapsing into a heap of cold sickness, so I can still do these videos for you guys. But other than that, I would say the thing that really gets me the most sick on a regular basis, I get pretty bad headaches, like migraines at some points. To take care of myself in that situation, I gotta shut everything down. I can't have any light, I can't really have any sound going on. I lay down in a completely black room, just flat on my bed, a damp face cloth over my eyes, and just fight the urge not to be sick. So that's probably the worst thing that I do experience is migraines and stuff like that. So those happen every maybe few months or so. Other than that, just like general cold sickness, maybe I get the flu here and there. I actually haven't had the flu in a long time, which is funny because people say, have you gotten your flu shot? And I say, no, and I don't get the flu. And people that do get their flu shot seem to get the flu. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, that's how I take care of myself when I get sick. Just leave your response to that question down below. Use hashtag QOTD. And on Sunday, October 2nd, you have a chance to win the code card of the Roaring Skies booster pack I'm about to open up right now. And as we prepare to open up the Roaring Skies booster pack with the Pikachu-EX Red and Blue collection looking on, which I forgot to mention as always, but I'm holding on to this collection for the time being until we hit 1,000 subscribers to the channel, at which point I'll do an unboxing video of this and give out the code card in this box to the lucky winner of the question of the day for that video as well. But I want to pick up another copy of this, or whatever the latest collection is, and do a physical mail out to somebody for hitting the landmark 1,000 subscriber mark on the channel as a nice little throwback, and thanks to you folks out there for supporting the channel and your interest in all the stuff that I do as far as Pokemon content goes and all that good stuff. Anyways, let's now open up the Roaring Skies pack. This is, of course, the expansion that includes the very sought-after Full Art Shaman-EX. Will I be so lucky? I'm gonna say probably not, but maybe the fact that I'm sick means good karma has built up for me and I'll get something amazing out of this booster pack. First of all, I'm going to hide that code card to the side until October 2nd, this coming Sunday, so you all have a chance to win that by answering that question of the day. Are we focused? I'm going to say yes. Alright. So let's switch things around here. Let's start with the common cards, of course. Don't think there's anything else I'm really looking for in this set, but we're going to find out. I have a Pikachu. Cool. Start off things. We got a Bagon. We've got the Wingull, Swablu. Last common is a Shuppet with bleh. I like that attack. Feels like me, or sounds like me right now. Anyway, uncommon cards begin with an Altaria. We've got the Dustox. We've got the Wide Lens. Reverse foil card is a Latios Spirit Link. Very nice, very fancy. Rare card of the Roaring Skies set expansion booster pack thing is nice. We got the Delta Plus Ancient Trait Articuno. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack of this Pokemon, take one more prize card. That being said, if Articuno knocks out a Pokemon-EX, you take half your prizes in one knockout. Very nice. Chilling Side for water energy. The opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. For 2 water and a colorless, Tri-Edge does 20 plus. Flip 3 coins, and this attack does 40 more damage for each heads. That is what I got out of the booster pack of Roaring Skies. For your chance to win that code card, as I said, answer the question of the day. And on Sunday, October 2nd, I'll be doing a drawing from everybody that answers the question with hashtag QOTD in the comment for a chance to win this code card. Once again, that question is, what do you do to take care of yourself when you get sick? Leave that answer down below, hashtag QOTD in the comment. Have a chance to win this on October 2nd when I draw out one random name that answered that question. With all that, the news update is now done for the day. Hopefully you're getting hyped for the Evolutions expansion. I know I am, to see what other cards are going to get reprinted. And as they said in the basic write-up initially talking about the Evolutions thing, things like Ninetales-EX, or not EX, Ninetales Break and Machamp Break, they don't have nostalgia factor because, of course, Break Evolutions didn't exist back then. But still, I like seeing new Break Evolutions. Gives me more video ideas for the channel, of course. I tend to focus on using the Breaks rather than the EXs, and I'm going to have some fun with that for sure. That being said, come on back later on today for the second episode of Pokemon Sapphire for the week as we check out Slateport City and see what Team Aqua is up to in that the museum area, and see if we can deal with whatever they're trying to pull. Anyway, that being said, Professor Chaz is now signing off. Thanks for checking out the news update, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.